Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. At this time of year, there is always time to have talk of change, I suppose, and the major reason is because we go into new years and, of course, new hopes. One of the things that was brought up on the last Tech Talk, which I didn't really go through, and also through some Patreon stuff as well, was improvements to be made basically in RRB. I've talked about this issue in the past, and things that I would like to add personally to the game mode just to make it a little bit more fun, but at the same time, there has been a lot of pushback recently with the changes that they brought in for RRB, basically removing the soul of the game mode. And let's see what they've changed. The first thing was they increased the team size, which, if I'm honest, at pretty much every tier, apart from the highest echelon of the game, I would actually say is an improvement. At the highest echelon, it can be debated, especially when people are speeding vehicles, and especially when people are moving around the place, and it really depends on how you kind of feel about that area. But at every other BR, it has made matches more fuller, there's more stuff going on, and to be quite honest, people are playing in exactly the same way as they did previously, leading to nothing changing, apart from there's more interactions, more things going on, and also more RP and SL on offer, which is super nice. The other change, or the major change that they did, is they uniformed all the maps, or they basically made all the maps the same. Every map has pretty much the same setup, and any map that doesn't have the same setup, such as Spain in the old version, is horribly exploited over many different years of people figuring it out. So the vast majority of old maps have just completely disappeared from recognition, and the only ones which kind of live and breathe are this new age of, both sides being symmetrical over a plane, and the only difference being maybe some of the terrain geometry which is around the place. These two changes were made. Basically, the first one, with increasing the amount of people in, was obviously to try and get more people into battles, more actions, more fun, yada yada, once the servers could take it. And then the second one was because a lot of people were going for those maps anyway, and all for different reasons. The first one, probably because they are more linear, they are more easier to understand, and also less abusable, and people who are grinding know exactly what they're getting in for. If you are in a plane that is just going to go bomb a base or rocket some vehicles in a PvE fashion, if you're going up against something which you don't know whether it's going to have bases or you don't know whether it's going to have AI, it's probably not a great thing. So map rotation wise, everything kind of went to a specific point, and then we got another set of map changes across the board, which were all based around the map rotation filter stuff, and also when it came to players' opinions and all of that. And right now, we're at that stage. And there's a lot of people, especially at high tier, which are unhappy with this, especially with the massive amount of people in the game. So for me, if you want to fix that issue, it's pretty simple. You just reduce the team sizes for high tier, or top tier I should say, and leave everybody else alone. Because at every other tier, it actually makes the game a lot more fun, but at top tier, where there is so many things flying around, I can understand why people wouldn't get involved or wouldn't really find it too enjoyable. It also means that there will be a lot of lack of creativity at top tier, and people will get bored with it, but at the same time, the major thing that changes in top tier is the vehicles that are available, so it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. People will always want the new shiny. For me, the way to improve Air Realistic has always been more AI mechanics. I've always liked the idea of RRB being a massive kind of combat scenario and you are a small piece of it, and in your kind of little additions to it, you sway the way that the battle works. Otherwise, what you end up having is just kind of hero mode, where one person can just completely alter the battle in many different ways. This basically means that the rest of everybody is useless in the battle itself. A lot of RRB has been set up like this for the longest time, but I've always believed that there should be a little bit more. So instead of it being the large EC maps where there's just a bunch of random, well, not very random, but basically AI events which happen, which are kind of boring, why not take the foundations that have been built on pretty much every map now and then add either unique mechanics to different ones or try different things? For example, on the Flanders Field map in Ground, you now have trains going around it. Don't know why trains are something which have been kind of gone away from in Aerialistic. There is two maps, Advance to the Rhine and also Seversk, I think it is, or it's something beginning with S, which has access to a train. And the issue with it is it actually spawns at the start of the battle, meaning that a lot of people go towards it. Why not have factors which kind of spawn later on and go in different areas, meaning that even after the first battle has happened, you have a bunch of stuff that, you know, kind of pushes forward. They had this idea for a while in Aerialistic, and I thought it was pretty good, where after a certain amount of time, certain AI targets would just kind of appear, and if you destroyed them, they gave you more points, and this meant that the enemy lost more tickets. It was actually a really nice way of sometimes ending matches and kind of winning from that point. But they removed that when they put the system down to 25 minutes instead of 50, which it was before. For me, I would just like more objectives, more stuff. I don't need things like more unique bombing tasks. Those can stay, because I think having some kind of uniform thing is good. But why not have more trains? Why not have more AI planes going around the place? Why not have more stuff to make it like a battle? The main thing is, though, you cannot go historical, because for years and years and years, when it comes to War Thunder, we had these historical maps, and they just didn't work. They were incredibly unbalanced, and everything just fell apart with them, which wasn't exactly fun. For me, I think it's important, as we go into this new age of jets, to give it a little bit of a new feel. Because when I play stuff like the F5E, or when I play stuff anything around, every match feels the same. Another thing as well is the way that players play Aerialistic is so stale, and I don't know if that can be changed. I feel like people just use it to grind out stuff for ground RB a lot of the time, or use premiums to, you know, drop bombs for easy score and easy SL and RP, and then just kind of go from there. I don't really know how you can change that player's mindset to not just go for the easiest thing. A lot of people now even just go in Simulator and do it too to get the guaranteed points, and maybe that is just kind of a factor of War Thunder now, and I don't know how you fix it. It would be kind of interesting to get a bunch of people around to see how you could move it, because the only ideas I've ever seen, which are never going to work, is to force people to play in ways that are just not fair and shouldn't happen. So hopefully, going forward in RRB, we'll have a look at it more in January, but just understand, right now, in most BRs, I feel like it's in a good place. That doesn't mean it's in a perfect place, but compared to some times in history where you had so many of the maps which were just so unbalanced, it's nice to see a kind of normalcy across the board which you can build upon. This time, right now, I think they got the foundation right after so many years, and hopefully in the future they can build upon it. As always, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. I'd like to thank Schnitzel Stroker, Brendan Quinn, Vilneus, Character Fuel, Carrion Crow, Nicholas Richardson, Gus Irenicus, Pyman, Wartinder, Teddy, Daniel Stanton, B. Young, Opium Prime, Masonocrat, Lafouche, Alan Hacker, Sem Arslan, Uncle Bean, and Derek R. for supporting the channel.